everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Neca San Diego Comic-Con 2022 exclusive The Thing MacReady figure. This is the 40th anniversary poster figure. Should have a light-up head. Let's go and check out the packaging. As you can see, the Thing kind of has a sort of holographic type front. You can hear as I scratch it. One side of the package says The Thing. Now the box is super beat up. It came all mangled. The tape's not even sealed anymore. If I wasn't planning to open this thing, I would be super annoyed. Backside, you can see the figure. Some different scenarios. This is one of Neca's ultimate figures. Window box packaging. You can hear the Velcro on the front. On the inside, here's MacReady. Light up, diamond looking head. And here he's in the package. Thing is absolutely ridiculous, but still cool at the same time. It's going to be a recreation of one of the posters for the film. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He doesn't come with any traditional accessories, but he has an alternate faceplate without the ice shards or crystals coming out. Before we take a look at that, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is one of Neca's San Diego Comic-Con exclusives from 2022. I was displeased how they first dropped this figure. Every year, they put their San Diego Comic-Con exclusives at the Neca store. You have a window online, usually 3 different days to be able to grab these things, and usually they sell it pretty quick. This year, they put them up for 1 day, and they were only up there for about 20 minutes. I went to check on these figures. I remember it was 22 minutes after they were launched, and they weren't even there anymore. They didn't sell out. They didn't even give them enough chance. They just simply took them off the website after 20 minutes or so, and that frustrated me as I missed my opportunity. About a month later, they gave everyone a second chance, and I was able to get the figures I wanted. But it's not the usual way they do this. Usually, they put them out there, and they leave them until they sell out, at least in limited quantities each day. All in all, I got my figure, so all's well that ends well. But it was a little annoying and frustrating for them to take them off the website without any warning. So this is MacReady from The Thing. MacReady was played by Kurt Russell. This version here is based off a poster for the movie where you see this figure and he has this cold jacket on and light is just sort of coming from his face. I think this was to imply that he's the alien here. On the figure, it looks like crystals or ice shards, but it's really just supposed to be light coming off his face. And yes, he has a really cool light up feature, and we'll check that out in a little bit. But first, let's take a look at the figure. Starting off with his face here, it looks absolutely ridiculous. Super wide. I can see these things breaking easily. They package it very nicely in the box. Extra plastic wrapped around all this so it wasn't going to break. Some of them are semi-transparent, as you can see there. It looks cool, although as far as practical figures goes, you're not going to get a lot of use out of this guy. The outfit's nice. It's in sort of a blue color. You can see the snow effects on the leg there, the feet. His winter jacket, the detailing is very nice. He's got the gloves. It's all done in black and dark blue. Really cool looking figure. But like I said, not very practical. You can see the ice tips. It's got blue there. He's got this hood. It's got the sort of fur all around the front. Single jointed elbows. Single jointed knees. I like what I'm seeing. But like I said, this is not a figure you're going to have interacting with other figures and scenarios. It's simply a cool figure for display if you're a fan of The Thing. Here's a peek at that poster for the movie The Thing. This is the promotional material this figure is based off of, and it's a pretty cool idea, although, like I said, not very practical. And then, here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's take a look at his accessories, and it really only has the one thing, the 2 alternate faceplates. Here he is with his main faceplate. This is based off the poster art. This has the rays of light, or ice shards, or crystals coming out of him. It looks cool for what it is. Be careful of those things. I could see them breaking if you're not careful. And here he is with his alternate faceplate. It looks weird. Not as weird as the other one. Just totally blank, like nothing's there. And here he is, with no faceplate on. Just a black head there. He's got the light in the middle. Every one of his faces just looks very weird. Fitting for the film. And here he is with the hood off. A little bit of a clearer look at the face. You can see he's got the two eye holes at the front. Each one of his different faceplates has little pegs that'll plug into there. We have the light in the middle. On the back, this is how you're going to turn it on and off. Take a little screwdriver, open this up. It did come with batteries. Thankfully, there was a little piece of plastic in there, so they're not going to get used while this figure's in the package. Pretty cool. With this face, he looks like some kind of robot. I don't even know what. It's weird, but then again, all three of them are weird. Now let's check out his action feature, the light up face. Here he is with the main face not lit up. Here he is with the face lit up in a well lit room. And here it is in a totally dark room. And here in a dimly lit room. Here he is wearing his alternate faceplate with the lights off. Then his regular faceplate with the lights on. Regular faceplate, lights on, with the actual lights off. And here with no faceplate on, the lights off. And then with the lights on. Now they've taken a pretty good look at the figure, his accessories, and his action features. Now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 7.25 inches tall, which could translate to about 18.5 centimeters. Now let's check out his articulation. Start with his head here. The hood is going to prevent you from doing too much, so let's get that out of the way. Beyond that, his head can rotate, cannot look up or down, can tilt a little bit. With the hood on, it's really going to restrict most of that. But you could sort of turn his head, put the hood back on. Not really getting much out of that. Shoulders on the ball joint goes out a little bit less than 90 degrees. It's very tight, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He does have a single jointed elbow, goes in a good 90 degrees with rotation. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. He's got this soft coat. I'm assuming it's one solid piece here. I can feel a ball joint in his waist, rotate around, forward and back. Legs, only got about this far. They are ball joints. Can rotate independent of the ball. Go forward about that far. Back, not much. Single jointed knees, they go back about 90 degrees with rotation. He's got a boot cut, then his ankle, forward and back, tilt, rock, the rotations in the boot. Here's an image of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive MacReady. He's got the light on, kind of wandering around outside. I want to give a shout out to my boy D Sniper for helping me out with my thumbnail, and a similar image. This time he's got his regular face on. And if you turn his head around backwards, it almost looks like it's totally covered in darkness, and you can't see his face under the hood at all. Yeah, I can kind of see that screw hole there, but if you have the head facing straight away, you can totally see where the LED light is. Here's an image of the regular MacReady figure, sitting at a table, having a drink as everyone is dying around him. Now let's check him out, next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Neca The Thing figures. Here he is, next to Neca's first release of MacReady. And here he is, next to Neca's second release of MacReady. I would say this is the better of the two figures, better accessories. If you're really going to get just one of these guys, get the second release with the holster. Here is Neca's entire The Thing collection, 3 different figures of MacReady. There is an upcoming monster, and I'm pretty excited to get that thing. No pun intended. I don't have any of the old McFarlane Thing figures. I would love to get a couple of their monsters, but they're quite pricey nowadays. Looking at these three figures, it looks like their legs and boots are exactly the same, just painted differently. And the top part is quite different. Different jacket, different hands, different head. It would shock me if they didn't release a normal painted MacReady with this coat on. Outdoors winter MacReady. They already have the mold. One of the first things I thought of when looking at this guy's feet and paint job was this Neca T1000 in liquid nitrogen. They did a fantastic job on MacReady's paint here. The detail is just exquisite. And I'm sure you can kind of see why they remind me of each other, at least a little bit. His outfit totally reminds me of this Bandai Stranger Things Hopper figure. Kind of a thicker winter coat type thing. Neca has been making Alien and Predator figures for years. Now they're also making the Thing figures. Neca has really hit some of the main sci-fi films from the 80s. Fantastic job. Neca has great taste in figures and action figure lines they want to pursue. Now let's check him out next to some action figures from different various companies to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a Neca figure, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his Neca brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from Neca Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, with some more Neca figures, these are all from their superhero department. And now, here he is, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, with some McFarlane toys. And here he is, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, with some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, next to some Mafex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, it's a pretty cool figure. It's just not very practical. It's cool with the different faceplates, the light-up feature. It's a cool representation of the poster from The Thing. But it's more of a display piece. It's not really something that you're going to be able to interact with all your other action figures and put in different display scenarios. I was trying to think of what I could even use this guy for. Maybe Mr. Freeze shot this guy in the face and there's ice all over him. But that's a stretch and a long shot at that. I like The Thing. I'm going to collect all the Neca Thing figures they make. And this guy's probably going to be the centerpiece of that collection. He's very weird, and that's very fitting for The Thing. There is nothing that's not weird about that movie. His articulation is rather limited. Accessories are more or less non-existent, but I'm happy he has 2 different faceplates. Sculpt and paint job are excellent. No issues there. If I were to rate this figure, I think I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. Maybe that's a little bit too low. But it is what it is. It's just a display piece. And I get that. I knew what it was buying it, and I'm still happy to have it. But I do prefer my action figures to be able to interact with each other and do action figure photography. This is going to be great for photography, but not good for general action figure scenarios. Just my 2 cents. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add to the comments section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.